I was struck by the second letter of James for this 23rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. In our second reading, St. James urges us not to show partiality for those who are wealthy while neglecting the poor among us. He says, "Listen, my beloved brothers and sisters, did not God choose those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom that He promised to those who love Him?" This Sunday comes before the feast of St. Peter Claver on September 9. Peter Claver was born in Verdú, Spain in 1580 to a prosperous farming family. He had a desire to serve as a priest in the Jesuit community and was sent to the port of Cartagena, Colombia. It was there where he discovered the harsh treatment of Ethiopian men and women who were being transported to Cartagena as slaves. So moved by their plight, Peter Claver dedicated himself to serving these poorest of the poor, even signing the document of his final profession as a Jesuit with the words, "Peter Claver, servant of the Ethiopians forever." He baptized over 300,000 slaves, thus assuring them of certain Christian rights and privileges. Instead of living with his fellow Jesuits, this saint preferred to sleep in the quarters of the enslaved. There's a statue of this saint in the plaza of Peter Claver in the historic district of Cartagena and in front of the sanctuary dedicated in his honor. The artist, Enrique Grau, had become one of Colombia's finest abstract expressionists in both painting and sculpture. His preference for the rounded forms and robust, disproportionate figures is clearly seen here as he shows Peter Claver accompanying an Ethiopian slave. Here, the artist Grau shows three examples of how we must not show partiality, but acknowledge how each person deserves our attention because we are each made in the image and likeness of God. Notice, for example, how the saint is engaged in the slave's story. Pope Francis often reminds us to look into the eyes of the other. Secondly, the sculpture is at eye level for us, rather than on a pedestal, which is often typical with Colombia's statues, thus allowing us to accompany the two figures. Finally, notice the polished, almost golden hands of both figures, revealing their innate and shared human dignity. St. James reminds us not to make distinctions among ourselves. Let us take a page from the life of St. Peter Claver, whose mission was to engage his equals.